Hello, welcome back to another Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando. I'm your host, John, and I'm here with Luis Carlos Pineda for another Tuesday night to talk all about the Summer Cup and everything else we got lined up. Luis, how are you, buddy?
No, doing great. It was a draw for the Pride. Penalty kicks are Russian roulette, and things happen. I do want to say today's episode. The name is Roll Pride. I took it out of Mac Crone. Uh, that's something she would always say. Roll Pride on social media. So definitely, what a performance of Mac Crone. I mean, I was out of my seat watching that performance. Two penalty saves, five key saves throughout the whole game. I mean, I know we have a good goalkeeping corps both in Pride Land and in City Land. So definitely something that, as an organization, we need to definitely take pride on. Obviously, and it's phenomenal to see Mac, playing in that level against tough competition. Because North Carolina, you could tell by their animosity to get the W, they were hunting for blood, and also good for them. And I'm just excited for this episode, John.
For sure. Welcome to everybody who's here. Drop your comments. We will read them soon. Yeah, today we have on the docket for you guys. We're going to talk about the NC Courage draw slash loss. I don't see it as a loss. I see it as a draw with penalties that we lost. And then we're going to preview Rayados de Monterrey, our first international competition for Orlando Pride. We're going to be playing a Mexican side in the Summer Cup on Saturday night. Super excited about that. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the Olympic Pride players that are out tomorrow. Thursday. A very exciting matchup between USA and Zambia. So welcome back, everybody. Please drop your comments. We want to hear from you. Let us know, what you've been thinking about this last game as we get into North Carolina Courage away. This one, Luis, we were out, obviously, a significant amount of players, 8 players, in fact, that are away on international duty right now in the Olympics. That's Banda, Chanda, Adriana, Marta, Rafaeli, Angelina, Sams, and Morehouse. Just to remind everybody. So tell me your thoughts. We were guessing what the lineup would be. And I was really interested to see what came out. And there's a few surprises in there, but a lot of players that we thought we would see. So what's your opinion on the lineup?
Well, I mean, I was surprised with having Celia being a key part of this squad. Great to see her in a starting role and also scoring. This is something that coming off the bench, again, depth for what's coming next in the NWSL tournament, and I think that's fantastic. Also, feel a little bad about Brie Martinez. Hopefully it's not nothing major, but she definitely was hurt, and it was sad to see her go. Again, Haley McCutcheon, Morgan, phenomenal tandem right there in the mid. You could probably see that Morgan, she hasn't had a lot of minutes, so I guess like I said, they're burning minutes on her as well. And we got and I think we were talking about this, John. How's it going to go? Doyle. Is Amanda Allen going to have, so and I was glad to see Amanda Allen out there too. So it was, it was, I mean, not to, it was a great performance by North Carolina for sure. I mean, they were hunting, but also we held our own. And I think everyone, it's on the same mindset. And, penalties are penalties, right? So I feel this is something you can definitely build on. So, and definitely against Rayadas, we have inferior NWSL competition beating them. We're the top of the league. We're the best team in the NWSL. We should definitely play at a high level against them.
For sure. In terms of the lineup for this one, obviously, like you said, talked about, great to see Matt Crone with the first start and played an incredible game. A Maitland native, Luis, somewhere that I live very near to Maitland. So, shout out to everybody from North Orlando. Matt Crone doing it for us. But what a first game. The penalties. Obviously, she made a bunch of saves throughout the game, but I was really impressed with her in the penalty shootout as well. I think definitely shows without Anna here, we can rely on Mac to step up. So that was great to see. Amanda Allen, it was good to see her get the start. A lot of the other players, we've seen at times throughout the season. Celia, maybe another one that hasn't had as many starts, playing in center back for this one. Carrie Lawrence at the right back. It was good to see some players that we haven't, which is what we expected. And then off the bench, like Alex Kerr, obviously coming on, but then going off injured, so that sucked. But great to see her come on. And then the big one for me, Luis,
Happy
I
belated birthday to
yes,
Alex Kerr.
yeah, happy birthday, Alex. The big player that I was really excited to see get on the field. Can you guess?
Which
Evelina
one?
Dooljan. We have
And she
not
killed it.
seen,
She
and
killed
she
it.
got an assist.
Yeah.
So, she's looking feisty on that right wing. She got speed. So I'm excited to see what else she can do in this team. It's one that we were waiting for. So finally getting to see some minutes from her. Ali Limos, again, getting back in after subbed in for Morgan. All about getting Ali more and more minutes. So great to see some of our game changers, as Haley talks about them, and I think it's a really cool way to refer to them. Traditionally we'd say like rotation players, backup options, whatever. But I think game changers is a bit better because a lot of these players have got big potential and big upside, and in a lot of other teams, they would get chances. We're just very stacked. So I was impressed, like you said, Luis, how well our game changers held up against a North Carolina Courage team that really wasn't that depleted. They had a few players out, but
Yeah.
nowhere near the amount that we did. So before we go in, Luis, I want to just get into the comments. Stream Jesus says W's in the chat. He says, I feel like DJ Khaled because all we do is win no matter what. I got the pride on my mind. He says the Pride girls never give it up. Fire. Still undefeated. Love that. Jennifer says she was fantastic. I think we're talking about Matt Crone there. Jennifer, yes, she was indeed fantastic. Jay Texas says happy to see Pride debuts. Yep. Definitely. Jennifer says, I am very, very worried about Bree. Luis, we haven't heard anything on Bree officially, right?
Well, officially nothing. So today and yesterday and today they were off. So they will be back tomorrow, and there'll be more info probably coming out then.
Well, we'll definitely
I'm
know when
I
the
will
report
consult.
comes out.
I will consult with the club tomorrow and just kind of check back on that because I asked communications today to see if there was any update on Bree, and they said, well, they're off today. Well, they were off yesterday and tomorrow and today. So tomorrow there should be some news. If not, we'll let you know right away. So, but it looked pretty bad. I
Yeah.
will say it looked. I mean, she couldn't even step on the pitch. Like she was limping, and again, like there was no one who could like. I mean, I don't know. There was no like that little cart that comes in and they take the player out, right? And
Oh, there was no yeah, like it's like a golf cart, but a flat
yeah,
back on it.
or
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a
or like
little like
or like a flat bed or something they could carry her,
they didn't even,
because
yeah, it was
it was
also
kind
very
of weird.
quiet around the stadium at that moment, and it was quite empty. So, obviously, if anybody was there, I'm sure they could really feel that in the stadium, the concern for Bree. Obviously, we wish a speedy recovery and hope to know more soon. And when we do, we'll obviously pass that information along to you guys. Also, Alex Kerr, like I said, came on and then had to be, helped off limping. So, also,
Uh,
we want to make sure that speedy recovery for her. Too. Jennifer says, Duljan impressed me for sure. I felt awful for her after the PKs. Yeah, it was I think she just completely missed on that PK. We'll see
Yeah.
in the highlights. Evelina brought the energy when she came on. Yes, she definitely did, Jay Texas. I'm excited about that like burst of speed she's got. Jennifer, when they needed the time off after getting screwed by Delta, bus home from North Carolina is a long trip. Yes, this is something I know Haley tweeted about, that they had to like get a bus ride home from North
It's
Carolina
ridiculous. That's
because of
ridiculous.
everything happened with the airlines. Probably to do with this, something to do with the, fallout from all the internet stuff. Who knows? Who knows why? But they got screwed, so they had to the long way home on the bus. So, but they're back. So some days off. Jennifer, yes, I was there, and it was pretty silent at that point. Crying face, yeah, you could feel it on the broadcasts for Bree. So, you always hate that when that happens, and you're always worried, are they okay? So as soon as we know, that'll be great because I think Bree's had a great season. We don't want this to be the end. Hopefully, she can
Yeah,
play some
definitely
more
she can
games this
continue.
year. Yeah, for sure. We've had enough season-ended injuries. Like it's getting silly at this point and just unlucky and unfair a lot of the time. So no
So
more of that, please.
yeah, for sure. And like you said, if our B team, in a way, I mean, just to call it a B team, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want it to sound like they're B players. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like just by saying, they're not the. Some of them are not the starters. They're playing at this level. Against North Carolina, like you said, like with they had a knife in their mouth, ready to kill. They were ready to go Game of Thrones on us, right? And they held their own. I that is something that you can definitely build on, and it makes us so much unpredictable, and it just makes us like very strong as a team in general. Because I mean, every single player, like Sep said, you take him off the pitch, you bring him in, boom, like they try to all make an immediate impact. They all try to offensively and defensively do their part, and fantastic.
For sure. Let's get into the highlights, man, and see how it all went down
Yeah.
here for North Carolina. I feel like I don't know exactly off the top of my head what their usual attendance is, but I was wondering, has this been impacted by it not being by it being Summer Cup, by it not being a regular league game? Because it looked pretty quiet there.
Yeah, so Manchester City right now, it's doing like a tour of the United States, and they were actually training in this pitch right here. I saw Jack Grealish. They tweeted a picture today, and they were right there in that same pitch training, and it was packed. So I'm like, it's sad, but whatever.
Backline there, too
Yeah,
stationary, too high up. I
yeah.
think Seb had a word at halftime because
I mean,
this first half that happened several times, and Crone Mac completely bailed us out
what
for
an
sure.
attitude! Like, I mean,
Yeah,
that was an attitude adjustment right there. So
yeah.
I would agree with you 100%. But again, I know it sounds like an excuse. I mean, but they're wearing off that rust for some of these players that we haven't seen having a lot of
It's a
minutes.
new back line, like it's a new
Correct.
combination.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
Bree playing left back, like just not. I
Right.
wouldn't consider her a natural left back. You got
And then you got
Celia at center
Celia
back,
right there.
Carrier
You see,
right back. So
correct. Yeah.
yeah,
So Celia right there, obviously trying to get there, and I think the
they got a
North
lot of
Carolina,
speed, North Carolina up front
yeah, they got a
too,
lot of
and that
speed for
that
sure.
was
Yeah.
causing us problems.
And so Bree also, didn't see number 23 right there, and just the save right there. Like, it's like, I don't care about the penalty. I'm just gonna go get the ball right here. Her knowledge of like what to do in those moments, like, phenomenal. A lot of attitude right there. Boom. Yeah, so that was
I
great.
mean, Manaka too. This whole first half was tearing us up.
Yeah.
What a player! So technical, so good on the ball. Just there's several. Manaka could have scored 2 in this first half, I think.
It says, let's read some comments real quick. I don't know where you stopped there.
Yeah, I'll
John.
get back in first. Hold on. Let's see.
There you
No,
go.
not this one here. Yeah, it's pretty silent. We said that. JA Texas, more NWSL being affected by Delta. Jess Fishlock tweeted that their flight got canceled. So Delta just ruined the attendance.
The
completely.
NWSL, yeah. They need a pay.
Jennifer says the pouring rain broke things up for a minute. I did see on the broadcast, you can hear like it was raining on the camera, like cover or whatever. It
Yeah.
was so loud they had to like mute the stadium sound. So I think that didn't help on the broadcast. Celia said, sorry, Pride or Die said Celia costed the game, too slow on defense, got beat often, missed the pen. Good goal to tie though. Yeah, I could. It's like Luis, you were saying, a little bit flat-footed, I would call it.
Yeah, she was taking the rust off. I say, kind of she has a little bit of rust on her because she hasn't been having any minutes. Same with, Carey playing in that position, and then you have Morgan coming back. So, I mean,
too hasn't played a lot recently.
Amanda Allen, and so there's a lot of players that we're seeing, and with all of that, I know the result maybe wasn't the most favorable one. We could have definitely done more, but I'll take that because we can definitely build upon this.
Yeah, and I don't think Celia is known for her speed, and it will happen to the best defenders at times. Jennifer said North Carolina scored right when the rain was easing up, and I felt like that contributed, but that may have just been the impression. Prior to this is what needs to take her chances when she gets them too.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Allie has been better about taking her chances recently, but at the beginning of the season, there was a period where she was not doing that too. So I think Allie gets in those positions, just not always pulls off the best, most powerful shot or the best option to shoot, right? Sometimes she'll go for near post when she could go for far post, that kind of thing.
That's right.
Let's carry on with the highlights.
There you go. Is it McKinley Macron?
I just like Mac. It's Mac.
Yeah,
Attack.
Mac Attack. That's
You're
right.
in the crone zone. We need like a nickname for Mac. I like the energy. I like the passion. I like the headband.
Yo,
I like the whole vibe.
Man, she's been playing like this since college, man. In Alabama, she's a great keeper. I'm so happy to see her thrive. Like, I follow her college career, and when she was signed by the, it cost her to be at the Pride. You know what I mean? She had to be. I think she was not selected, and then eventually she became part of the kind of training with the team, but not training with the team, and then got a chance to once the goalkeeping
training contract originally at the beginning of the year.
Correct. Yeah. So she's come a long way, and she's showing that Orlando did the right thing by signing her, and she's a huge part of the group, and it shows. Like, it's great.
Let's go on to the rest of the highlights, and we'll see more of Macron.
Quite the first half, not sure what it is, the Kool-Aid, but at home, North Carolina
going, right past Morgan, and I
was watching Manaka being like, how much for Manaka? Because Manaka on our team, who would destroy with this squad. She's the kind of player that has that ability in and around the box. That I think Manaka's going to be like Chanda. I think Chanda's going to look like that.
Yeah. Plus, you have to understand, like, if Morgan, so Morgan could have gone to her, but it would have been more of like a penalty type situation, because you got to understand, if Manaka will feel a little bit of pressure right there in the box, she's going to fall.
Back to spec.
She's going to try to pull the PK. So that's why, then you have Haley trying to close in.
Gorgeous Manaka.
Come on at this point.
Yeah, and you see Julie's
the game changes a lot in our favor. I think because, like you said, Morgan was
She was
didn't
having
have
some
the
issues.
best game. I think she's a very good defensive midfielder, but she's not known for her speed and pace. And she was just getting beat a lot in the midfield here, and so Seb made that decision to bring on some fresher legs, and Ali instantly, I think, made a difference.
Made a
in
huge
the
impact. Yeah, and then see, and then look,
the other way
and look, the confidence that Julie has to take on 2 players, it's crazy. Like, she's asking for the ball. It's like, pass me the ball. Like,
this is a
you
hell
know,
of a shot by Julie, by the way.
This right here, it's like no fear in her eyes. Like, boom.
the box.
Look at that, man. Look at that curve.
Off the post.
That would have been probably goal of the year.
I mean, great shot. Great shot.
Or,
I mean,
goal of the Summer Cup.
She has one of those a game, and some, like, there's that one with the volley like a while back. That was an insane shot. Remember, like, she does these moments of brilliance, Julie, and I'm excited to see more of her during this Summer Cup.
Yeah, and then the commentator's like, "Ooh, yikes!" What?
It's Doyle off the post.
The way she says Doyle just tickles me. Doyle off the post.
It's like I was already in by this time, by the way. So Evelina Doljan, right?
Yeah, and Evelina. Wait, where are we at now? Yeah, Evelina came in at 74th. Lara Cat came in at 66th, and Alex Kerr came in at 66th as well.
So she made an immediate impact. She knew it was her debut. Like, we need to see more of that, because I mean, what a player! Like, when she first signed, we said, Swedish national teams. Sweden is very well known for their youth development in women's soccer specifically. They were actually one of the best countries, in my opinion, in Europe. Definitely doing the right thing in women's sports, and hell, it shows. Like, there's a lot of American players going to play in Sweden, professionally as well. So, I mean, it's pretty big there, and you could definitely tell that that's the reason why she's in the Swedish national team under 20s. You know what I mean? It's fantastic.
From the Pride. Far post, and it's what? Ooh.
Yeah, that one right there, right? That's probably the one Pry or Die said.
That's like, exactly what Pry.
That was good. Yeah, that was going to be a
driven shot.
Yeah, so I'm glad.
And forces the keeper.
Yep.
To do something. So
yeah,
that then allows Celia to get in on the rebound
with the right foot.
Yeah, I mean that was past the keeper actually.
Is it off the player, right?
It's off the player.
It's off the keeper, off the player, then then back into Celia, and then in the goal.
And then Celia was right there. I mean, you got to score those. I mean, like, John, you could score from there, I'm sure.
Yeah, imagine what Pride or Die would be saying about Celia if she missed that.
No, don't say that, man.
I'm just messing around.
That would have been like, come on, man.
Yeah, no.
Or imagine pull Orlando City, pass it back. No, come on, man. No,
this year we're not missing those.
No, we're not missing those for sure. And again, Celia is very good. She has a lot of experience, and she's playing the national team in a big Spanish team. Like, she's played there with all those players, so she has the quality. I mean, that's why she's in the NWSL.
Barcelona, man.
She's playing Barcelona. That's what I'm saying.
I think sometimes we forget, like, this team, like Larraquette played for Argentina in World Cups. Like, Ali Limos, for example, was the #1 pretty much pick this year. So there's a lot of, she won for college league. So there's a lot of good talents in here that we don't see a lot of, because we just have such a stacked team. I mean, Amanda Allen was at one point, very highly rated as a young Canadian. We got a lot of not only good talent, that's veteran talent that doesn't play as much, but also a lot of young talent that could get better and develop even more. So that's why I'm so excited to see these game changers.
Right. Not only that, I mean, you're giving Celia, Amanda, Ali, even Morgan this exposure Again, it's pretty much the same competition that they're going to be facing down the road. And then you have your starting lineup that they're all in the, going for club and country, and they're probably going to kill it. Man, that team is going to come back. When they come back from the Olympics and also the Summer Cup, it's just, they're all going to be in player ready. They're going to be game ready, for any game to take on any squad, pretty much. So to me, that's a win-win for us to not only play this tournament, but also for some of the players that we haven't seen a lot to get to be protagonists. Definitely after this game, I could say. And again, players can have bad games here and there, but I think after this game, I feel Matt Crone's number 2. After Anna Morehouse, I think I know it's only one game, but we'll see what happens in the rest of the tournament, right?
Yeah. I want to say, everybody, drop your comments. We're gonna
read some comments.
Let's finish up the highlights, and then we'll read all the comments. Tickles the twine. Yes, she did say that. Tickles the twine. Shout out to Rachel, who's usually here but not here, who I bumped into at the City game but didn't have time to say hello to, because every time I looked at this goalkeeper, all I could think about was Rachel calling Taylor Flint a tree. And I was like, well, if Taylor Flint a tree, this goalkeeper is like an ant or something, or a giant tree, because she's massive. She's so tall.
Yeah.
And you look at the size of Matt Crone and as goalkeeper compared to their goalkeeper, it's like night and day. So no wonder she made some good saves, because she's obviously got a career going on here, because this was her first game, I believe, as well. I don't know her name. I can't remember. But made some good saves, and very tall. I think. I don't know exactly how tall, but a tree.
Pride or Die says, hot take, Ashlyn Harris doesn't have half the shots Crone and Morehouse do. Don't miss her at all. Yeah. To be honest with you, I don't miss her either. It's just, again, great play.
Let's just not talk about that.
Yeah, Pride, great player, but
I'm happy in current Pride land.
Yeah,
Old Pride land is sad.
Old Pride land is sad, yeah.
I don't want to go there.
There you go. Yeah, like, look at the size difference, like you said, right?
Look, love you back, but you're not the biggest goalkeeper. Let's be real.
No, but Mac is tall, and she has the speed, and she's just not afraid of anything.
Compared to the other goalkeepers, she doesn't look tall at all.
Yeah,
also, Matt Crone's got like Jordan Pickford energy. You know what I mean? Do you feel that? Look at the way. look at the celebrations.
I see like a Dibu Martinez, like.
Okay, yeah. Right? I was surprised to see her taking a penalty. Maybe she's got more there than I realized.
It was a bad penalty, yeah.
It wasn't a great penalty. I've got to say that, but
big smile.
I don't know how much penalty work they've been doing.
6'2" comes in handy for Bova.
Like, now mine, if I would have been Mac and I would have gotten this penalty, which she does eventually, I would have gone through their crowd and just gone like, gone like, go, like in your face.
Weatherholt. And another save by Crone
against an ex-Pride player.
The Swede, who's been terrific tonight, just 21 years of age.
Yeah, Evelina, man.
Oh.
At first, I thought she saved it, and then I...
There you go. What a win.
Jay Texas says they're definitely practicing penalties after this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got Matt Crone.
Much of a run-up.
Yeah, we got Jordan Pickford.
A few more comments. Jay Texas, young players learning from Banda and Marta. Also, if that player wasn't there, Evelina's shot was going in. Yes, definitely. Pride or Die, Crone deserving of that second spot. Yeah. Jennifer saying Monaco was dangerous all game. She's a very good player. Totally agree. We saw that, and I think their most dangerous player for sure. But we're gonna move on, Luis. We're time to talk about our next game. against Rayados de Monterrey. So an exciting Monterrey Orlando matchup. This team, Luis, is currently third in the Clausura for the Liga MX FEMENIL. Pretty decent. I would say probably like one of the top teams in this league. I think I'm gonna double check, but I believe they won it last year. I can't remember which one. Maybe they won the Clausura last year. I don't think they won the Apertura. So they're definitely up there as a big team in Mexico. I went back and watched the highlights from their first game against Racing Louisville. There's a few players on their squad that we might recognize the name as. One, most obviously, Christina Birkenrode plays there. So ex-Pride player. This team, Luis, they lost 3-1 to Racing Louisville in the last game. I think it shows that where their level is. I think Racing Louisville are how do I say this? They're like a mid-table club this year. And so I think to be able to, lose 3-1 to Louisville, who are down a few players as well for international duty, like everybody is. And there's not a lot of players out. I think there's like one player who plays for Monterrey that plays for the Mexico national team. So they were pretty much full steam. One thing I did notice from the highlights, this is their team here, by the way. One thing I did notice from the highlights, they like a long shot. There was a lot of like long range distance shooting. So I think Matt Crone's got to keep her head on a swivel to watch out for these, long distance looping shots that they got coming in. Set pieces definitely like a threat. They were pretty organized defensively, from what I could tell. And it took Racing Louisville a while to break them down, but once they did, Racing Louisville were clearly the better side, had a lot more chances, a lot better chances than anything the Rayados were producing. Luis, your sort of initial thoughts on our first. This is, I believe, I don't think I'm wrong about this. The Pride have never played anybody outside of the U.S., right? I don't think so.
No.
So
we haven't played anyone.
First ever game against international competition.
I mean, for sure. I mean, it's going to be a big game. We're going to be playing against a team that has a lot of history in Mexico. And it's a team that is definitely gearing up to have a really good 2024 season. They're getting a couple of players like Celica Arce. She played in Atletico San Luis. So now she's part of Monterrey. So she's a defensive mid. So she plays kind of like Morgan. When Morgan plays right there on the box. So I'm sure that she's gonna probably have some minutes against the Pride. But like you said, I feel like the Pride has this. Oh, he left. I think his internet died. No, I totally feel like the Pride has this game under the bag. So I feel like we have the better squad overall. I think we have not only the better squad, but we also have the size. And those are, whether you want it or not, skill is one thing, but size is another thing in its own. And I do believe that we have a mix of experience and also a lot of good youth, just like they do. I'm not gonna count them out. It's gonna be a fun game, but I feel like Orlando has, to me, the upper hand in this squad. To me, now it's gonna be the first time facing them, and it's definitely gonna be fun for sure to experience international competition. Right. So let's read some comments real quick. It says, Jennifer, I watched them beat Portland at the ICC in 2022, which is my go-to banter for Portland. So I need us to win this one. It says, there you go, John. You're back. What happened? You all right?
They didn't like me talking about Mexican teams. Clearly, the the power went out. Everything just went. I went black, but I'm back.
Really?
Yeah, just everything shut down. Computer, internet, just.
It's the powers that be, John.
Yeah, they did not. They were not impressed with my words about
No,
Rayadas.
yeah. I mean, what I was saying was it's going to be a tough game. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Rayadas, but I do feel, with all due respect, that we still have the superior team. I think we come with a momentum. I think size is going to matter here. We have more of the size, and especially that comes to play, right? And so now, who's going to replace Brie Martinez? So we're probably going to see an Evelina debut, probably as a starter. Hopefully, we'll do the lineup in just a little bit. But it's going to be fun to face and see where we match up in the international stage for sure. You know, again, the Pride right now are the best team in the NWSL. I don't know if Rayadas, and again, this happens with a lot of Spanish clubs. You know, a lot of, you know, they think US and they don't think, oh, I'm going to be facing a team from the US. They kind of downplay us a little bit. You know, let them downplay us. I think it's okay. I think they're going to get another thing coming if they think that, you know, we're just another American team. You know, they already probably saw it against Racing Louisville, you know, and yeah, I think we got this. You know, they got Merle Bandongen she played in the national team for Netherlands.
It was a really good goal by Fatima Servin.
I mean, if you want to check her, you want to check the highlights that they played last.
I think we're okay. I think we've seen people go watch them themselves. I believe it's Diana Garcia. No, maybe not. I can't remember exactly which midfielder they have who is in the Mexican national team, but she's probably away at the moment in the Mexican national team. Just like we have players missing for the Olympics as well. So like we said, Luis, just excited to see what happens when we play an international competition, and also see the level across this whole tournament as where, you know, there have been some good games so far. Where are we at compared to our friends across the border, you know, in terms of the league versus the FEMENIL league, you know, where are those stacking up? And I think so far as we've seen, it shows that NWSL is an extremely good league with a lot of good players, even missing the ones that are off for Olympics. So
yeah, I mean, so Mexico
Jennifer says, "Oh yeah, sorry, go."
So Mexico didn't qualify for the Olympics. I would expect the national team players to return soonish.
Well, there we go then. So it might be Diana that played for when we played them in that recent friendly. She was in that team against the US. So let's see. I'm excited. Do you want to do the lineup? Something
sure.
I had to show you actually quickly before we do that. This is kind of interesting. Remember, Luis, a while back, we had a long time ago. We did a roster,
right.
like a little lineup. So this was something we did sort of preseason, and you can see, okay, this is where we were. And then we did one 5 games in, if you remember. Okay, look, we got Barbara Banda, and this is where we're at. I updated it to kind of have a look at where we're at with our Summer Cup options at the moment. You know, really, we've got like Watt, Kerr, we've got Doyle, Evelina, Summer, Amanda, Laraket. Like, but you can see we're not like completely stacked out on options. We've got enough players. We have to bring in a couple players to fill spaces like Kenna Caldwell and Claire Winter. But I think there's a lot of talent here, and also you can play around with these players like we've seen. Like we're gonna work it out in terms of who comes the 9, who's the winger, who's the CDM, right? You know what I mean? Like we kind of this tournament, we got to figure out a little, like, do a little bit of experimenting here.
Yeah. So if Alex Skur is injured, then you have La Roquette who could play there. You know. Yeah. So those are the type of options that you're gonna have. You know, Summer could maybe play the wing.
Yep.
And then you can maybe have, Ali right there with a, if you want to do double pivot, you could do Haley, Morgan, and then Ali. And then,
Yep.
you could put Jolie Doyle as a 9 right there. So you see the options that you have in the attacking third. And these are all players that are ready to play. So,
I mean, so many of our players
yeah.
play other positions. Like it's great, and then we've seen that all year. And right now, it's great that we have that option to be able to move them around. And like maybe we'll see Haley fill in. Like now we got, if Bree is out, right? Maybe we'll
Haley
see
could, yeah.
Haley back at right back. This is the kind of thing that we can do quite easily, I think, with the way that Seb and everybody has built this squad to be able to be flexible. The players are not like tied to a position. They're willing to move. They're willing to change and provide what the team needs. So yeah, I'm all for it. Maybe we'll see, I doubt it, but maybe Carrie Bello at left wing at some point. She's probably needed at left back right now, but we've seen that before. And maybe we'll see some minutes for Claire Winter, who got brought in. Who knows? I'd love to see,
Yeah, and
who knows what these other players can bring to the table.
And just imagine, you're giving Ali Limos the chance to start, Evelina Dolgen, and then, once the other players in international duty complete your team, watch out in NWSL. I mean, all the players are gonna have some minutes. They're gonna be ready to play. Obviously, hopefully, Brianna and Alex is not a bad injury. I know Alex. It was her birthday, so so happy birthday, Alex. But obviously, it doesn't look like it's a massive injury, so she may be available. That's what it looks like to me. Now again, I could be mistaken. But I know Brianna's looks pretty tough. So hopefully she's okay.
And we're out, obviously, 4 players on season-ending injuries. Like, I think Viv might be close to coming back soon. But definitely, the others are out. And on Olympic duty, we've got 8 players. So really, we're down 12 players on our squad right now. So I think it's pretty impressive the amount of depth and options we've got. Like other teams in this league, if they were down 12 players in other years for Pride, if we were down 12 players, that's
our front office right there. That's our front office. That's
so another big shout out to Haley and her team. Yeah. Recruitment has been great, and they planned for this period, and we have got the players that we need to be able to get through this, keeping that momentum up, Luis, I think, which is more important than anything, from how well we've been doing with our full team in the league.
Now, if you got Viv back, Viviana Villacorta, you get Viv back, she could play that also D mid role, and boom, you got another D mid player that could play the 6, could play the 8, and then so it's fantastic. And then you got Summer and Ali right there. They could play maybe Ali could play an 8 and also could play a 10. So
yeah, you got the lineup
so many
ready
options.
For us? Put one up together.
I
feel like it's not going to be a huge amount of changes from last game. We'll have to see, but Macron, I imagine, is going to keep
for sure
her position and goalkeeper unless they feel like they want to give Sophia a run out. It could happen.
I know. I think,
but I doubt it. I think Mac's going to keep her position.
Yeah. So to me, it's going to be Macron. Right. I think we're all, and the 4 at the back. We're probably going to see the same back 4, with the exception of Bree. Right. So. We're looking at Celia, Strom, Carrie Lawrence.
Do you think Carrie will be back? I mean,
Carrie Lawrence?
No, Carrie Bello. Do we feel like she's injured out for a while? I mean, did she come off the bench last game? I feel like she was on the bench, but she didn't come off the bench. So,
yeah, I mean, I think I don't
know. There's a chance Carrie will play.
There's a chance. I mean, I haven't really seen if she's like
Yeah, I'm not sure how long
injured.
her
So
injury or
I will
what's
have
up.
to ask the club tomorrow. But
So let's put in Carey because it could be Carey, and then
if Carey is a huge part of our
yeah, that's
team.
the
But
thing. I think
I
we
mean,
missed her.
if you want to put Carey, I mean, we could just do one without her and then see if
Yeah,
that's.
let's see what happens. I
So
mean, who
I'll
are you
say
gonna
we
put there
keep it.
without her?
We'll put Celia like we did last time, right? So like they played last time, it was pretty
Yeah.
much almost the same back four. It was Celia. It was
I mean,
Kylie,
Carey,
Carey.
maybe Corey
So
Dyke getting in at right back.
I will say Haley McCutcheon.
Move Haley there.
Yeah, I'll say move Haley there.
I
That's
can
my
see it.
opinion.
I can see it.
Yeah, so you're
We got a
looking
little bit of
at
a fullback problem if we're out Carey and Bree.
Lawrence, and Lawrence, and then I mean we could put Haley here. I'll feel more confident with Haley here,
Yeah,
and then eventually they can make the change.
we'll see. I think if we don't have Carey, and we kind of have to move Haley into a right back, unless you want to play Corey. You've got other Carey playing, center back, who you could play at right back. So we're a little bit thin on defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way, but we just don't have the usual flexibility.
No, you could do.
I think then Ali and Morgan in midfield,
Yeah,
right?
so you're talking about Morgan
And Limos.
and then you put Ali, and then who do you put on? I mean, it could be like this: Morgan and then Ali.
Yep. And Summer back in the 10 again.
Then Summer back in the 10, and then Ali did a pretty good job against North Carolina when she came in, and then up top, I think.
I'd like to see Julie go to the 9.
Me too. I think I would like to see Amanda.
It could be maybe Evelina gets the start now. Like I don't know if they're ready for
Evelina
that,
Dolgen?
but I would love to see that after what she showed in this game. Maybe she could.
Oh well, Evelina could play. Doesn't Evelina
Right
could play
wing.
right back?
She
Right
can play
back
right
also?
back. She can play right back. Yeah.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then I'll put.
Maybe.
Yeah, then I could put Dolgen here.
I think she's more attacking than defensive, but it is an option. She has played there for Juventus, and when we looked it up in the past, she has a history of being a right back.
And so you keep your Haley and Morgan right here, and then I mean you could put
I would tempted to put Ali in the 10 then if you got because she can play that role too, and then put Summer on the wing and
that'd be a great idea.
That's an option, yeah.
Summer
Allie's
right here.
very creative when she wants to be in that midfield, so we haven't really seen her play higher up. She's always been used as like a DM, but in college she was like a center attacking mid.
I would put Doyle up top as a 9, and I would put Ali Watt. Right.
Yeah.
Although didn't Summer play left wing before?
Summer can play any of the attacking positions. I think she's not.
So maybe like this.
Yeah, either way. Summer's
not.
She's like Marta, put her anywhere, she'll do something.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this is a solid lineup
I think Julie is a 9. Is she obviously has a lot of history there, but she's looking dangerous. At the
Carey
moment,
was wearing the same leg sleeve that Lynn Williams wears. Oh,
no.
Gotcha. Don't think Abella's injury is major. That's probably just giving her rest till the season resumes. Probably.
They might be, yeah. They might just have her on the bench as a precaution and just resting her. So I'm with you, Luis. I mean, I'm excited to see more. Not that injuries are good, but if that means Carey's out, like as much as I'm loving her this season, I want to see more opportunities for other players. So this maybe we'll see Dul Janet right back. Maybe we'll see Corey Dyke get in. Maybe we'll see Haley McCutcheon there. Who knows? But we're gonna have to move things a little bit around from last game because we can't just roll with the same lineup again.
Yeah. So to me, this is the best lineup to me. I mean, I think it's a solid lineup. I mean, you got your defense is solid with Dolgen and Ali Wad right there. I want to see that combo, see what they can do especially in transition. Maybe they could do that Dolgen could be that dagger Dan Thor Holson, but for kind of be that
Yeah.
he kind of makes I mean, to give you guys the team's going in transition, and then you got Dolgen speed through, then Ali stays back, and they can switch,
Yep.
Or they built that connection. Ali could attack. Dolgen's right behind her. She did that in the last game, so I have no doubt that she could do that. It would be cool to see her with Ali right there. And I think Summer, she could play in any position here in the mid. So, but I think to me this is more of like ball retention. They're going to be touching the ball a lot, and I think this mid with Haley and Morgan and Ali, it's to me superior than what Rayadas has, in my opinion. Not to be cocky or anything, but I'm just, I mean, it's going to be tough for Rayadas to take the ball away from Haley and Morgan. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yep. I mean, I think they're going to have to defend hard, but like, you saw how much grit and determination North Carolina with their entire team basically needed to beat our game changers, and Rayados are nowhere near, I believe, that level, right? We're upper echelon in NWSL. Like the worst teams right now in NWSL, I think, would still give them a hard game. So as long as we're keeping up our level, which we have been, I think this is going to be an easy win for us.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be hopefully an easy win for us, and hopefully
not like easy, but you know what I mean.
We'll probably make a huge statement,
It's definitely a game that we can and should win. That's what I should say. Luis, shall we move on? Because we are almost at the end of our show, but we got one more thing we want to talk about. Of course, the Olympic Pride players, of which there are many. We talked about Chanda and Banda, but tomorrow, Thursday, there is a big matchup: USA versus Zambia, 3:00 in Group B. I'm sure everybody knows about it. Emily Sams, of course, on the USA roster still as an alternate player. We'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be more injuries in the tournament. There's the option mid-tournament for the alternate players to be brought in to the full team squad. So it's not like there's still an opportunity that she could play, which would be bad for the injuries, but awesome to see an opportunity, of course, for Emily. Regardless, we're super proud that she's there and just being involved in this camp. Emma Hayes this week, Luis, did you hear what she said about Emily Sams?
Yeah, she said that she's been scouting. She's been looking.
She said Emily Sams is one of the best players in NWSL this year.
Yep.
We know it, but to hear it from the voice of one of the best coaches in women's soccer, and of course leader of the women's national team, is awesome to hear. We know that. She also said some very interesting things about Barbara Banda. Basically she's the best striker in women's soccer at the moment. Again, we can't really argue with that. So we've got two of the best players in women's soccer worldwide right now, Luis, there, and Emily Sams and Barbara Banda. So this is going to be an incredible matchup. I'm a little bit scared, Luis, of these Copper Queens, because they've got a hell of an attack. And obviously we're just going to have to pull out a great big result for USA in order to be able to get something out of this game in a tough test for the opening of the Olympics.
No, yeah, for sure. It's I said it's going to be a dark horse. A dark horse to me is going to be one of those teams that you think, hey, Zambia is here they want to try to win a gold. They're going to try to get into the podium. So they have phenomenal players that probably some of us haven't even heard of yet, that they're going to definitely make a statement in this Olympic. Now, the U.S. has, to me, a tough schedule. I mean, for your first game to be against Zambia, it's not just like a walk in the park. So it's also a great opportunity for the team of Emily Hayes to definitely kind of like what happened with the Pride, I mean, the Pride came and, essentially having a couple of bad years, and bad results, and then all of a sudden, it took one manager to turn this around, and that's probably what Emma's there. And she's already looking to kind of change things around there, when it comes to bringing new players in that are in fit form, like Emily Sams. And, who knows, this United States team is also going to play, and we'll see. It's going to be a great matchup, in my opinion, John. I look forward. I look forward to watching it at 3:00. I don't know if we should have a post game, but we'll see.
Yes, I mean, it's going to be great to watch the Olympics. Of course, Anna Morehouse in with the English national team, the Lionesses, as well in the Olympics. And, of course, the Brazilians, Marta, Adriana, Rafaeli, and Angelina, I believe, is an alternate player. So a similar situation to Emily Sams, where she might get in if there's some injuries. So a lot to keep an eye on during this Olympics, and it all kicks off on Thursday. There is also, Luis, a watch party. I'm sure you know about that, but we will promote it here because I think it's something cool that the club has done. They're doing it at American Social, which, if you haven't been, is just like right down a restaurant row opposite where the Whole Foods is, if you know where that is. So go down and check this out. I wish it's Thursday at noon. I wish I could go. Well, I think the game is later. That's a very early start for a 3:00 game.
Well, you have to
get on it. Get on it early. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand if there's a win of the U.S., it's gonna be party time. Party time. And Frank the Tank's about to come out.
Frank the Tank. Yes, definitely. This looks like a cool time, so check that out. Obviously, then there's another one so there's two games. This is a Brazil-Nigeria game, so you can go down and watch Brazil and then followed by USA Zambia.
So did you see what happened between Canada and New Zealand? That's actually a good question for Jay, Texas. I heard about it this morning, and I thought it was like, come on, man. So I'm going to go ahead and just put the statement. So Canada soccer is in hot water because, John, a non-accredited member of team staff was detained by French police after flying a drone over a field where New Zealand was practicing. So they were kind of being blamed on, spying on New Zealand right here. They made a statement about it. The Canadian Olympic Committee was made aware that a non-accredited member of Canada's soccer support team was detained by French authorities in Saint-Étienne following a complaint by New Zealand football on July 22nd. The staff member is believed to have been using a drone to record the New Zealand women's football practice during practice. The Canadian Olympic Committee stands for fair play, and we're shocked and disappointed. We offer our heartfelt apologies to New Zealand football, to all the players affected, and to the New Zealand Olympic Committee. We're renewing next steps with the IOC, Paris 2024, Canada Soccer, and FIFA. We will provide an update later on today. So, yeah. So they're spying, man.
Yes, Jennifer says the Lionesses are not in the Olympics. Indeed, as I was completely wrong. I forgot they did not make it. They failed in the Nations League final. Yes, so no Lionesses for me to enjoy. But anyway, I've still got USA, so I'm all in Team USA.
Yeah, Team USA, Emily Sams, hopefully.
Yes, for sure. It also means that I was assuming Morehouse is out for the Olympics, but she's not. So I was completely wrong about that. But she's going to be back then, I'm assuming, at some point. So Macron just for now, before Anna comes back to take her seat back.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's either way. I mean, I think Zambia, it's going to be a tough team to beat. I think they're going to, I mean, it's a huge test for this new U.S. women's national team. And again, you got teams like Colombia as well, playing against New Zealand. That's a huge test for them as well. You got Brazil playing against Japan. You got Japan facing Spain. So, I mean, there's a lot of great matchups. I know. I mean, to you, John. I mean, from looking at the competition, who do you think is going to reach out the podium?
I mean, I think it's Spain's tournament to lose, which really, as an
Really?
Englishman who's just
Oh yeah,
watched
you want
Spain win the Euros, it hurts me to say that they are the best team in women's and American, and men's right now. So I think Spain they've just got such talent, man. It's so difficult to look past them. I think USA are going through something like they're going to have to get better as the tournament goes because they've got a new coach, because there have been changes. There's a lot of young talent in the USA team that could get better for its nation, just needs time. So maybe the US will grow into it and really be the best team by the end of it. But I'm not sure they're going to start out so well. And then, France are always up there. Germany, I'm not too favorable on Germany right now. So yeah, I would, if I was a betting man, which I'm not very often, I would go for Spain.
I'll
But
say,
US, I think you're gonna be up there hopefully in the semis at a minimum. Most US fans just require we win it straight out, but
yeah. I
I'm not
mean,
putting those expectations on Emma this soon. I think that she brought in for a longer term project like the World Cup. And so this is just sort of the first tournament under her leadership.
look, to me, the podium will be, and my prediction will be, Spain for the gold. It sucks that I'm saying it, but I'm just trying to be realistic. And then I'm gonna say the second spot. It's gonna be, I don't know, from a different team that's not even, like, I mean, it could be Brazil, it could be Japan, or it could be Zambia. It's between those.
Canada,
Yeah,
Japan, Brazil, like all of
yeah,
those
yeah.
are in, like,
So
if they have a really good tournament,
yeah,
like it could
yeah.
be a resurgence
So
of Marta, man. We
yeah,
could
so
see Marta ball out.
to me we could see Brazil, Japan, and Zambia get in that in that silver medal right there, and the bronze medal is going to be for the U.S. I think it's going to be a bronze medal for the U.S., which I think it's, new team, new coach, new players, probably a new system, getting used to things and then building themselves back up. I really wouldn't be. I'm just glad there's changes being made to the national team.
I don't think anyone should be disheartened by the 0-0 draw to Costa Rica. I think there was a lot of frustration there, but really I showed
Costa Rica's a good team too.
the momentum that was on FootMob afterwards, Luis. It was literally, like the chart. I'll have to show you because I've never seen a chart that was that one-sided. There was nothing on the Costa Rica. There was zero. It was just all
Right.
USA, but we didn't score. So a lot of people are like, like we're no good. It's like, we are very good. We've got an incredible front three. They just need to learn how to play with each other a bit more. And also the Costa Rican keeper had a great game. And sometimes you can have all the chances and the ball just doesn't go in the net. But I still really rate this US team. And I think they could be I would say top three. Whether they could win it, I think it just comes down to how hot they are at the end of the tournament.
That's right. About 100 people live. So thank you so much, guys, for watching us. 86 people on X and about 5 people on YouTube. So thank you again for your support. Don't forget to subscribe.
Drop your comments. Let us know who you think's gonna win this Olympics. What you're looking forward to seeing. I'm also looking forward to seeing Barbara and Chanda, man. Like, let's see.
Yeah,
Let's
Barbara
see
and
some
Chanda
minutes. I want to see our new player in action. What she looks like.
You imagine if it's like, imagine if both of them start linking up and doing crazy stuff. And
that's
then
the thing. If
imagine
Zambia,
if Zambia dominates the US, like,
if Zambia balls out, I'm just gonna post Vamos Pride, and that way
Yeah,
I'll be like, sorry, but you know,
I'm gonna put Cuchalo. Yeah, there you go.
But it's exciting times, man. The Olympics, watching our players on the international stage, it's awesome. The pride is going to be said so many times in so many countries across the world. There's going to be commentators saying, "And now we got Barbara Banda from Orlando Pride, and she's got 14 goals in 14 games." So everyone's going to be singing our praises in the commentary. So it's going to be awesome exposure for us.
We gotta get a Barbara Banda chant.
Yeah, and then this kind of thing where you see our players doing well in international competition, that shows other players like, hey, they play for the Pride. Like, hey, maybe I should consider them. So it all is good exposure. It's all good growth. And I'm proud, Luis. I'm proud to see this many players from our club represent in their nation. So
for sure. I mean, it would be the cherry on the cake for one of our two, for the Pride to have maybe one or two Olympians, hopefully, right? And I mean, honestly, if you ask me who do I want, I will love for Marta to either win a silver, be in the podium. And if you ask me from Japan, Brazil, and Zambia, who would you like? I'm between. I mean, Japan is pure quality. I mean, you can't discredit Japan. Brazil because of Marta for sure, but then also you got Zambia because of Chanda and Banda. So
if those finish in the top three,
right?
Whatever order you want, that would be great.
And then yes, of course, I want the U.S. to win it all. I mean, it would be great to Emma Hayes to just make these players like super good from the get go. But it's gonna take a little time. But because the sport has improved tremendously. I mean, everywhere else is Orlando de Janeiro, Cuchalo. There you go. There you go. We got a lot of flair, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be great, guys. It's gonna be great to watch that.
We want to thank everybody that was here today to join us live. If you drop your comments, appreciate it. And if you're not, please join us live. We are here every Tuesday night. You can be here on YouTube. You can go over our YouTube channel, subscribe there, hit the notification button so you get notifications, a little bell icon, all the videos that we have going out. Then you'll get a notification on your phone. Also, you can listen to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can interact with us on social media at LPO_podcasts, on X, Instagram, and also on Facebook as Loud and Proud Orlando. Luis, anything else to say?
No, well, I wanna thank everyone who's supporting Loud and Proud Orlando and supporting the Pride Pod. I know it's about 100 people live right now. It's outstanding. Yesterday for the City Pod was also high numbers. So just keep supporting us. We have a lot of more coming. We're going to be covering this Summer Cup as well. And, the Olympics, more than likely as well. So excited for what's coming. Hopefully a couple of Olympians at the end of this, Olympic, Paris 2024. So let's see what happens. But, I'm just very excited to be living in this awesome Pride times right now. It's really awesome. So thank you for your support.
One last thing, shout out to NWSL for starting the NWSL summer / Liga MX FEMENIL Summer Cup with 2 matches from both leagues just playing their own teams in their own league. So that was like, okay, what's happening here? Why are we not opening the tournament with an NWSL team versus a Mexican team? I don't know. That was a slow start, but the rest of the tournament I've been really enjoying. And it's been a lot better than the other one, Luis. We won't talk about the other cup that we don't like. But the Summer Cup is a breath of fresh air. So excited to see us against Rayados and looking forward to more Pride goals and everybody there on Saturday for this first Orlando Pride International meetup. I feel like we got to keep talking about that, Luis, because this is crazy. This is our first game of international competition. It's a big deal. So I'm super excited for that. One last comment here. Pride or die. See you all next week. Great content as usual, guys. LBO or bust. Love that. Thank you, Pride or Die.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you
that.
for
Thank
being
you so
here.
much.
Thank you to everybody. And as always, Vamos Pride.
Vamos Pride, guys. Have a good one.